Welcome to everyone to our webinar Wednesday. And our webinar Wednesday is all about, are you ready for the new year, right? So our business, is ourselves ready for the new year? It's just around the corner, just a few days, right? So this webinar, this workshop will help us be prepared for that new year through goal setting. All right. So everybody get take your paper, take your notes. Right. We've sent you workbooks. If you have gone through Eventbrite, if you haven't gotten your workbook yet, just let me know and I'll send you one immediately. All right. But if you don't have yet your workbooks, just pen and paper always ready. Why? Because one of our rules here is just to always take notes. All right. So take notes as much as you can. If you can't take notes, or if you're having time to take notes, don't worry. We also have our recording. This one, we are recording our webinar. Okay, and then after this webinar, I'll make sure to send the recording to all of your email addresses. Okay, so we will. If I don't have your email contact yet, please chat it. Please put it on the chat so that I could list it up. Okay, next, of course, we have to get into the mindset that we're learning, the mindset that we're growing. Okay, that we're growing our business. All of this is to grow our business, to grow ourselves, get ready for that success, the success that we always want. All right, and as we pursue that success, let's check negativity out the door, the mentality that I can't do it, that this is too hard. Let's put that away. All right, for this webinar, we don't need that here. Okay, everything, we have to absorb everything. We have to be open for everything. Okay, all right. Okay, now I'm so excited to introduce to you our wisdom share for today, for this workshop. It is none other than Coach Ty Brown. All right, so Coach Ty is one of New York's top trainers, all right, in the areas of youth development, influencing all minds of students of all ages, right? And with 20 years of experience in youth development and business, his companies have collectively earned an income of over $1 million and continue to grow each year. That's amazing, right? Ty's community and philanthropy have propelled him to one of New York's top community leaders and have landed him being featured in Black Enterprise in New York of the Week twice. Amazing, amazing work. He's here to serve, he's here to give, and he's here to share. So let's give him all the positive energy that we have. Everybody unmute your mics. Let's give him a warm round of applause for Coach Ty. Yeah.
Right. Yes. Thank
Good
you.
morning.
Good morning, everyone. And thank you, Kyle, for that warm introduction. It is such a pleasure to be here today. Like really, 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 really honored and humbled to be here. I woke up not feeling too well about 3 hours ago, and we just jumped right into action so I can at least make it through this webinar. I don't believe in cancellations. I don't believe in not trying, especially when there's a goal. I'm telling you that the lessons are already beginning. When you set a goal to start something and to launch something, there's always going to be some challenges that day. Some things that's going to test your mind and ask you to not do it, try another day, put it off. The closer you get to your goal, the more obstacles. And this morning, I hope you can, I know you can hear it in my voice. I woke up feeling like, whoa. And, I feel a lot better now, and I'm going to get through this. And I appreciate your energy. Kyle, thank you so much for your enthusiasm and warm welcome. As he read that bio, one of the things that stands out to me the most about that bio has nothing to do with the $1 million companies. It has nothing to do with all of the success and accomplishments or being in Black Enterprise magazine. But the best part of that bio is the bottom, where it says, I am here to serve, I am here to give, and I am here to share. And this is really what it's about. I believe that we live our lives in stages and phases. And I'm in the phase right now where I just want to give. I want to take my experiences, my stories, the things that have happened to me, and I want to share them with you so that you can have a smoother ride on your road to success. So thank you again and welcome to our very first, did you know, our very first webinar Wednesday. We're looking forward to having many, many more where we can share amazing information with you that hopefully move you a little bit closer to your goals and objectives. So let's get it rolling. Let's get rocking. Get your pens ready, your papers ready. Let's go ahead and get started. So I want to get started with a little icebreaker. And I want to give you all, each and every one of you, I want to give you $20,000. Write that down. You just got awarded $20,000, Mama Moo, Chanel, Dion. You just received $20,000. What are you going to spend it on? What are you going to spend it on? Go ahead and take a moment with your paper and pen. You can use the chat feature if you choose to. I'm going to go ahead and break down my $20,000 in the chat. And you should be doing the same, please. Take your time and think about what you would do with $20,000 to help grow and build your business. All right, so I'll read mine. If you type yours in, I'll read yours for you also. But if I had $20,000, I would spend $5,000 on marketing, $5,000 on equipment. I would put $5,000 in an account to help with my payroll, and the last $5,000 I would save. If you have your answers down, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next slide. Take a look. The next slide, the prize money that we just gave you is split. You no longer have $20,000. You now only have 10. How are you going to adjust that list? What are you going to sacrifice now that you don't have the 20 and you only have the 5? Take a moment to think that over. How does it look now, Dion? When you had 10,000 in stocks, 5,000 in savings, and 5,000 to build your business, now you only have 50% of that money. How would you change your plan? Take a moment and answer that and think that over. How would you change your plan? What would you do differently? And now, what happens when we move to the next slide? From the 20,000 to the 10,000, what do you do when the money gets split again? And all you have now is $5,000. What would you do next? This icebreaker has to do with prioritizing. It has to do with goal setting, but then being ready for when the goal changes quickly. Because just that fast, you went from 20,000 to 10 and from 10,000 to 5. And your ability to adjust, your ability to make decisions about priorities, what can happen now, what can happen later, that's what this icebreaker is about. So even if you didn't get a chance to do it now, make sure you get a chance to do it later. So thank you for participating in our icebreaker. We're going to keep going and keep it rolling. And let's talk about goal setting. This workshop is really cool because I believe that goal setting is the start point of success. Too many people jump right into their business and haven't really sat down and done the goals. I mean, you need a blueprint, you need a plan. In order to really get to know what you're doing today, you have to first sit down and write it down. And today I'm going to give you tools on how to properly set goals. I'm going to give you tools. It's very difficult to move forward and have progress without goal setting. Very difficult to not become complacent and kind of happy where you're at and comfortable. Goal setting and working towards them on a regular basis, it keeps the passion alive. You're not going to wake up every day excited about your business. Trust me. But when you have goals, goals get you out the bed. Now, this part of it is really important. We are not talking about a charitable organization. We're talking about your business. And I don't know anything about business that don't involve money, income, profits. I'm watching too many people in business with zero income, zero profits. You don't own a business. You don't have a business. You have a hobby that you dibber and dabber in here and there. But goal setting for your business purpose has one goal, and that's to make income, to grow your income. Anybody here absolutely ready to grow your income in 2022? Is that the goal, to become profitable and to make more money? Let me know. Anybody ready? Absolutely ready to really talk about how to set new goals that's going to become profitable and have a better income? Well, that's the goal. I want to make sure we get it out the way right now about money and our fear of talking about money. There's no greedy situation about having a conversation about money. Yes, we don't need money to be happy. That's the fact. That's the truth. Some of us had less and still smile. Some of us had less and still enjoyed time with family. But the reality is that we get one life. Somebody type in the chat, one life. We get one life. And in this one life, I want to be able to experience everything available to me. I don't know what happens. I have faith about what happens, but I don't know what happens once we're finished with this earth. But there's some things on this earth that I want to experience. I want to travel. I want to see different parts of the world. I want to meet different people, experience different cultures. I want a house of my dreams. I don't want my children to struggle like I did early days. We don't all have to have the same experiences. If you or your children are going through certain things and you're happy where you're at, you're thanking God for where you're at, but you remember where you came from. Why do our children and our children's children have to experience that? Generational wealth. It's not called generational happiness. It's called generational wealth. Wealth equals money. So let's not be afraid to have the conversation about money, because the house that I want my family to grow up in, the house I want my family to enjoy and to sleep in and to eat in and have fun in, that house costs money. The traveling opportunity I want my children to have costs money. The education I want my children to have costs money. So let's not be afraid to have the conversation about money. You get one life. So goal setting around business is about money. It's not about anything else. This is not the conversation to talk about happiness outside of money. Yes, that exists. But we're talking about your business, and business equals money. Here we go. I want you to begin with the end in mind. You have to be able to tell me exactly what business you're in. You shouldn't like stumble. You need to be very clear about your mission and vision statement, who you are, what business you're in, and be able to have a 1-minute pitch. It's not enough to say, I'm an event planner. It's not enough to say, I make music. It's not enough to say, I plan events. I run red tents. That's not enough. I'm a bookkeeper. That's not enough. You need to make sure you add some color and some flavor and some seasoning to that description of who you are and why you're there. Let's take an example. I enjoy bringing women together for the purposes of growth. I'm in the business of having women from all ages sit and converse about the development of their self. That's much more colorful. That shows the statement. It brings me great joy to see women developing and growing. I'm an event planner. I enjoy bringing ideas to life from the client's first thought to their last thought. I want to go ahead and make that happen. It brings me great joy to see an event from an empty space to fully decorated and planned out properly. I'm a bookkeeper. I help business owners see where their money is going. Too many times we're spending, and not even knowing if we're breaking even or becoming profitable. I enjoy helping business owners see exactly where their money is going. I want you to really, really develop your statement and be really clear about which business you're in. Next slide. So let's talk about 2021. Did you set goals at the beginning of this year? Did you design ways to track them so you can make sure that today, can you go grab the same documents you used last year this time? Can you go grab that? Let's be honest. 90% of us cannot go get the goal settings documents that we used last year. They're in our head. We kind of got an idea, but no, you can't go get the tracking document right now. Well, we want to change that. We want to make sure that the documents that you use this year, you can consistently use throughout the year and be able to follow up at the end of the year. Let's commit to that right now. This time next year, December 2022, you're going to be able to properly look at the same tools throughout the entire year. It is your blueprint for success. Let's talk about it. What obstacles did you face this year? What obstacles did you face this year in your business that kind of caused you not to reach some of your goals? Think about your top 3 obstacles. Type it in the chat or just write it down for yourself. But what were your top 3 obstacles in 2021? Our ability to identify our obstacles is the best way to make sure we reach our goals, because it's our obstacles that slow us down or stop us. And if we combat them, move forward with them, start them early, we can go ahead and get rid of them right away. So this is the year where we plan out the obstacles early and we go ahead and we use teamwork, like-minded business owners, experienced business coaches, experienced coaching companies that's going to help us navigate through our obstacles. That's why 4 March Coach exists, to help business owners get around, get over, and get through their obstacles. Next slide. So today, we're going to review 3 ways to set your goals. This first one, many of us have heard of. Many of us have heard of SMART goals. And if you haven't, that's why you're here, so you can learn. Are your goals specific? This acronym helps us remember how to set our goals. Are your goals specific? Narrow it down. No big, bold, large goals. You need to make them very specific so you can make it achievable, which is number 3. Is the goal measurable? How do you decide if it was a success or a lack thereof? How do you decide on where you're at in that goal process? So it has to be measurable. What are the measuring tools? Is it the amount of clients? Is it the amount of events? Is it the amount of money? Is it the amount of time? How are you going to use, what are you going to use to measure the success of that goal? Is it achievable? Sometimes we set goals that are just so far away. We need to set achievable goals, realistic, achievable goals. And next, is it relevant? How do the goals tie to each other? How do they work together? Do this, then that. Do this, then that. If this, then that. Make sure they're relevant to each other. Make sure they make sense. Make sure they have synergy to each other. And then lastly, be clear about the timeline. By when do you want to achieve this goal? If it's 2 weeks from now, where do you need to be in 1 week? Where do you need to be in the second week? If it's a month from now, if it's seasonal, meaning quarterly, and it has a 3-month goal, then weekly, how do we measure properly the time leading up to those 3 months? So SMART goals is one of the acronyms that we use to make sure that our goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time. That one, many people already know. The next one is called clear goals. Clear goals is new to a lot of people. Number one, is it collaborative? Who do you need to include inside of this goal setting? Like, you know, we don't grow in isolation. So keeping everything to yourself, not sharing other people, that's not the formula. That's not the vibe. That's not the wave for 2022. Make your goals collaborative. Who else can win with you? Who else can help plan with you? Is it staff members that you need to get buy-in from to get these goals done? Who else do you need to involve inside of the effort of reaching this goal? All right? Limited. Is there any limits to this goal? Is it only local to your community? Can you broaden it and open it up to a larger community? I know personally, I started seeing a difference in my finances when I realized that this Zoom opportunity gave me international reach for my goals. So does your goals have any limit, anything that you can't achieve? Maybe you don't have enough time. Maybe you can't do an event every week because you have this or that or children. Next, emotional. Do your goals have an emotional connection? Are you very clear on why you're doing it? If you don't have that answer on the emotional feeling that you'll have at success, let's stop for a second. Take one of the goals, place it in your head. More money, more reach, more success. Take one of the goals and ask yourself this question. How is it going to feel at accomplishment? That question is like a question of visualization. The ability to stand at the end of the line and look back at your journey and feel accomplished, When the bank account is filling up, and how is it going to feel to know that the money's coming in faster than you can spend it? So now some of those dream trips, now some of those houses, and some of those things that you've been dreaming of become realistic. Appreciable. What key performance indicators can I use for metrics? Very similar to measurable. Are these goals measurable? What can I do? Key performance indicators, KPIs. We call them KPIs, key performance indicators. How do you know if you're doing well? I know I'm doing well because I started at 0, and though my goal is 100, I'm now at 40. It's only 4 weeks later. What does that indicate? That indicates that if I keep doing what I'm doing, I'm going to hit my goal very soon. Is it refinable? Can you make edits and change things around a little bit when you need to? It's like a target. If I take an arrow and I shoot it at my target and I realize that it went a little bit to the left, can I refine my goal, move it over a little bit, pull back again, aim, shoot, fire? What can you anticipate about the goal? Is the weather going to affect the goal? Is COVID going to affect the goal? So what kind of information can you pre-anticipate so you can make sure that you're able to make the edits and the changes when you need to? So clear goals is another acronym that helps us design our goals. The last one, and this was very new to me also, is called SPIRO. SPIRO. Again, these acronyms are just questions that help us really break down our goals. Specificity. I've always had fun playing with that word. What specific thing do you want to achieve with this goal? Why? Again, back to the why question. What is it? Being clear and being able to answer. If you and I had a one-on-one conversation, these are the questions I'm going to ask you. These are the things that I'm going to help you drill down to make sure that you're very clear in your head and in your heart on why you're moving forward. Again, performance. What are the look for results? What are you trying to accomplish? So again, all of these different acronyms kind of have similar meanings, which helps you understand. In this learning process, in this webinar process, all these things being repetitive is a secret to success. So seeing these things written different ways but having the same meanings is actually a plus. Involvement. What is the extent of your activity in this goal and your team? Again, repetitive. You have to involve other people. How much time of your day will this take? How much energy, how much thinking, how much emotion will it take? Realism. Does it fit in your lifestyle and current commitments? Many of us are balancing a lot of things. Many people are balancing a lot of things. In my area, my businesses have to have synergy. People ask me all the time, how do you manage all these businesses? I don't. I hire somebody else to manage them. And I just focus on one thing at a time. But many of them have the same success formula, just different brand models. What does achieving the goal look like externally and feel internally? Again, back to that emotion. When you finally find yourself successful and you're achieving these goals, how will it feel? When you're able to provide generational wealth for your family, when you're able to buy the house of your dreams, when you're driving the car that you feel comfortable in, when you're wearing the clothes that make you feel comfortable, because you have one life. We have one life. And this goal setting is about making sure you have all that God has planned for you. Next slide. All right. So hopefully you enjoyed hearing how to break those goals down. Now I have a document for you that I developed. It's the one that I use. It helps me really, really break down my goals and my objectives. I want to go through it with you. You can print it out whenever you have a chance, and I hope it helps you. So imagine if you write down the objective, the goal, and you describe it a little bit, what it's going to look like, what it's going to feel like. The third category is crazy important. Many people don't break down their goals by the financial impact that that goal is going to have. I need you to be very clear on what the financial impact is. Because again, we can't be setting goals for our business for emotional purposes. We can't be setting goals for our business that have no fiscal impact. Some of our goals are going to have structure impact. Some of our goals are going to have development impact. Some of our goals are going to have growth and procedure impact, but they all have to have a fiscal connection. Then I want you to write the clear start date and end date for that particular project or goal. Okay? Then I want you to describe what it looks like when it's done. When I finish this goal, here's how it's going to look. I'll have the branding and marketing material I need to get the word out. Who do you need to involve? I need to involve a graphic designer. I need somebody to help me with the wording. I need somebody to help me with some phone calls. Who does it involve? Who do you need to involve? Whether you're outsourcing certain things or whether or not you have your own internal team. Watch this one. What are the potential obstacles to stop you from this goal? What if it's money? What if you don't have the money to pay for the marketing material? What if money is an issue because you need the branding, you need the brochure, but you don't have the money to start? Write that down there. And then the notes is as you're chasing this goal, you keep your notes there. So this action plan document should have all of your goals listed, 10, 20, 30, 40 goals written down so that we can help you break them down into objective and description, financial impact, your start and end date, what does success look like, what team members do you need, what are the obstacles that might cause you not to do them. This is the document that you and I are going to use when we do our one-on-one goal setting coaching sessions. This is the document we're going to use. And that's my job. My job is to ask you the key questions to get you to write down all of your goals for we can have a plan. It's going to feel so good, y'all. I'm telling you. It's going to feel so good when you add up that fiscal impact column. Oh, my God. Realizing that one client paying $20 is not a $20 goal. One client paying $20 12 times in a year, right? It's $240. That same one client referring 5 people to pay $20 12 times a year. You get it? We have to broaden our minds that one new client is not $20. One new client is $20 each month that you have an event. One new client is a referral when things go well. And one new client can be a client for life, for whatever product or service that you're offering. So we want to really open up our minds to understand the financial impact to every new idea, every new client, every new moment. So you can understand how broad and large it is and how you have to continue to build piece by piece by piece. Sorry, I should be doing this way. Piece by piece by piece, we should be building up. I hope you enjoyed that action plan. Next slide, please. All right. So at this point in our goals, I understand that you're joining this workshop because we want to push you forward, push you to your next step, your next level. I need serious people. We need serious business owners who are really ready to get the help that they need to move from where you are to where you want to be. 2022 has to be the year of no more ideas. The year of action. Ideas can't stay ideas for long. You need to join a village of committed business owners who are going to help keep you accountable to the things that you say you want for yourself. Long-term and short-term goals. I want to celebrate your small W's. You know that big wins are a bunch of small wins added together. We can't talk about having 100 people if you haven't had 10 yet. We can't talk about having 100 people if you haven't had 10 successful clients. But if you can get 10, we can do the same things repeatedly to get 100. If you can get 100, we can do the same things repeatedly to get 1,000. And from 1,000, we can get 10,000. And from 10,000, we can get 100,000. And from 100,000, we can get 1,000,000. Piece by piece. The only thing that we plug into those formulas is time. Allowing yourself time to be repetitive and to build. Business building is about slow grind, not fast grind. Slowly committed to your objectives and your goals with some laser focus energy and some teamwork and coaching. You're gonna make it. You're gonna be in a better place this time next year. Next slide. All right, that is it. That is all. That is your lesson for today. I hope that you guys download the workbook that we did for this. Again, Kyle mentioned he's going to get you guys a copy of the video. And as you go through the workbook, we left all of the questions and blank spaces underneath it. If you take your time to answer the questions, you're going to leave with a product with all of your goals properly laid out. I want you to call me. Let's go through the workbook together. Let's share the workbook and talk about how to make them specific, measurable, real life goals that can really be achieved.